So in the world of marketing, whenever a brand is trying to capture your attention or trying to put your money into their pocket, I'm convinced there's around 4 ways that they try to do it. There's 4 paths they try to appeal to you. The first one is appeal to heart. The second is appeal to your brain. The third is appeal to your soul. And the fourth is an appeal to your spirit. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, think of a brand that tries to sell you based on value, based on numbers making sense, based on if you buy this, your monthly bill will be X amount less, or your value will go up. This is an investment for you. And some brands that try to do this is Walmart, for example. Walmart competes mainly on dollar savings, on cost savings. That's why when the economy goes down, Walmart generally tends to do very well. So they invest a lot of marketing towards convincing you that when you shop at Walmart, you are getting the same product or a comparable product for less money. So that appeals to your brain, that appeals to your logic, that appeals to your cost-saving nature. Okay? The second is appeal to your heart. And what does that mean? That means generally picking an emotion that a human being experiences and trying to go for that. And a common one that I see that I'm not really a fan of is appeal to humor. This can work for some brands. For example, Cards Against Humanity, they did very well by appealing to humor, appealing to comedy. And so what they did was they had very funny ad campaigns. We all know the one where pretty sure they sold a brick or literally a piece of feces in a box and put it on for sale on their website. And lo and behold, so many people bought it because this company, its marketing department mainly succeeds by trying to appeal to your funny bone, your sense of humor, basically. And so that's another way of doing it. And why I'm not a fan of this method is because a lot of brands don't do it well. They just come off very corny. They come off very cringe and cheesy. They don't know how to properly market in a funny way. Because a lot of brands, they're corporate companies. They're not comedians. So for them to try and be funny, it just comes off kind of pathetic a lot of times. And so I wouldn't recommend this unless you know exactly what you're doing and you're good at being funny. A lot of times, brands will spend millions of dollars for, let's say, a Super Bowl ad, try to make it funny, and it just, maybe it's funny. Maybe they hire a comedian to make a commercial for them and make it actually have a skit where there's some humor and comedy to it, but at the end of the day, the product doesn't sell for them. And if there's one thing to take away from this video is that whatever marketing path you choose for your brand, it should result in a transaction. That's the number one key. That's the number one goal for your campaign. It's not to make people laugh. If you want to make people laugh, don't be a business, be a comedian. If you're a business, if you're a brand, your number one goal is to process the transaction, move the customer towards making a transaction with you. Whether that's subscribe to your channel, whether that's buy your product, whether that is to buy your music or your book, whatever it takes, whatever your goal may be. It's probably better with the whiteboard. Let me just this down. Appeal to brand, heart to heart. Okay, so these are the ways that companies try to market to you and try to put your money into their pockets, basically. Okay, so we talked about the appeal to the brain. This is the appeal to the logic part of your brain, where mostly it's about money. It's about trying to convince you that this is an investment. You're going to save $1 or $2 by using their brand, and you're going to get a comparable product. Okay. Then we talked about appeal to heart. Cards Against Humanity was appeal to comedy, appeal to your funny bone, and by buying this product, it's giving you some joy, it's giving you some laughter, and maybe to your friends as well. But we also have premiumness, like Dyson. Dyson's very good at instilling this feeling of premiumness, this feeling of elegance, this feeling of you are ascending, you are going to a higher plane by using their products. It's just you yourself will be superior, and you will live more comfortably. You will live more with more ease by using their products. So Dyson's very good at that. They say our vacuums are the best. They're going to take the effort out of using vacuums. Our hair dryers are the best. They're going to take the effort out of drying your hair. So it's giving you that feeling of you're going to spend less effort, you'll be more comfortable. Basically just a feeling of more ease in your life, more comfort. Then we have luxury brands. We have Gucci, Versace, all those. That's just also similar to Dyson, where it's elevating you to a higher level. It's engaging your heart, where you are looking for a way to just live a more luxurious, more elegant lifestyle, and you be part of an upper echelon type of society. And yeah, it's gonna basically, it's a token of your achievements, whether it's a Rolex or some kind of very expensive jacket from Burberry. You look at it and you think to yourself, oh, I made it. I made it. This is a token of my achievements. And so that's what they're trying to appeal to by convincing you to buy a $10,000 watch. Next, we have appeal to soul. This one's interesting. This is how I would describe it, because these two could seem similar, appeal to spirit, appeal to soul. I think appeal to soul mainly means your compassion for other people, your empathy for others. So, for example, security systems. If you're a father, if you have a family, and you're looking at a Nest or one of those, what do they call, the UFI cameras, I believe. Basically, these alarms and camera systems to protect your house, to alert you of any intruders, because you have a family. You care for your safety of not just yourself, but also your wife and children. So these companies are gonna try to appeal to your empathy for them, your love for them, and they're gonna say, get this camera, it's gonna protect you, it's gonna protect your family, and so it's kind of instilling a little feeling of fear for what if you're in this situation, what if you have somebody trying to harm you or your family. We're here to come in between that and prevent that. And then we do have cars with safety features. This is similar as well. So you're looking for a first car for your child. They just turned 16. Maybe you don't want the cheapest car in this case, then you're not gonna go for this, because the cheapest car may sacrifice on some safety features. This car will have the best seat belts, the best collision protection, the best airbags, the best security system. So it may cost you more, but it's appealing to your soul. It's appealing to you, thinking that you're convinced that it's worth it because it's going to protect your child. It's going to prevent any harm from coming their way. So that's appeal to soul. I think it's a very interesting one. It's mainly for when you have others that you care about. You're buying this product. You're going to invest in this. You're going to invest in this product because you care for others. Last one is appeal to spirit. Appeal to spirit is companies like Nike. They convince you that when you buy Nike, you are joining a movement. You are, as an individual, you are being absorbed into a group. Now you'll be part of a movement. You'll be part of a collective that you have like-minded people that are all training towards a common cause, or they're pushing towards a common goal, basically. So another entity that does this is the army. The army gives you a purpose. If you are kind of just drifting through life, you have no purpose, the army tells you, join the army. We will give you a purpose. You will be part of a unit, part of a group that is like-minded and will give you that purpose in life, and you will ascend to a place where you are at ease with yourself and you have achieved something. You're a person of achievement now. So what's the takeaway from this? The takeaway is that if you're starting a brand, it's not just important to know what is your product. It's not just important to know who's your audience. It's important to know how are you going to appeal to your audience? How are you going to take your brand and then your audience and then find the way in? You know, each audience, they are reluctant to part with their hard-earned cash, and rightfully so. So it's hard nowadays, getting by in life. So to bring them something that will make them part from their hard-earned money, you need to appeal to one part of this four quadrants. You need to appeal to one of these four quadrants. Knowing which one that is very important. And one company that does this very well, actually, they hit multiple quadrants, is Apple. Apple, surprisingly enough, they convince you that you have a lot of value by buying their phone. Nowadays, they used to be the premium option. They used to be not the value option. They used to be double a comparable product. But nowadays, I'm convinced that they are trying more and more to look like a value product. You buy the MacBook with their M4 chip, their Apple Silicon, and compared to an Intel product or a Windows-based product, people actually are seeing a lot of value in it now. It can do more things with less RAM, less storage, what have you. So actually the price comparison, sometimes it actually favors Apple. And then, of course, appeal to heart. You know, they're going for that premiumness, that elegance, that higher elevation of usage, where it's just a clean product with clean lines. Their marketing is all soft curves and just minimal design. They're very good at that, for sure. Appeal to soul. I mean, maybe AirTags. You know, you put them, I mean, with your stuff, and maybe you put in your kid's backpack, I don't know. But I think they do a little appeal to soul too. Appeal to spirit, for sure. I mean, the branding, you know, when you open up a laptop, it has that Apple logo, or the blue bubbles, you know, blue versus green bubbles, we all know about that with iMessage. That's definitely giving you that feeling of you're joining a movement, you're part of a collective. And so I think they're really good at that. I mean, that's why they're so successful, is they're just hitting all four quadrants. So my takeaway, your takeaway should be, how can I pick one of these, your takeaway should be, which of these four quadrants should I pick, and how can I appeal the most to the one I've picked? I think before you can pick multiple quadrants, you need to pick at least one and nail down your selection and really hone in on it. And then when you find that you're very successful in that, you start to move into other quadrants as well. And usually the easiest place to start is either appeal to brain or appeal to heart. Appeal to brain, just have the best value proposition. I mean, just have, you're spending $10 and I'm gonna save you $100 over time, or you're spending $10 and the comparable product is $20. That kind of thing. That's pretty straightforward to do. Appeal to heart is, of course, comedy, or this feeling of premiumness, elegance, elevation. You're going to elevate people that buy your product. So once you've selected one of those two, you can hone in on it, and then you can develop the other quadrants. You can start with the other two as well. I'm not saying those are bad places to start either. It's just, I'm more familiar with the top two, but it's up to you and it depends what you're trying to do. Anyways, I hope this video is helpful to you. I'll see you guys in the next one.